If you are over 70, there is a habit you may be repeating every single day. Without realizing it could be slowly affecting your memory. It does not feel dangerous. In fact, it feels normal, comfortable, even necessary. You may be sitting for long periods, watching television, resting more than before, avoiding movement because your body feels tired or because you believe slowing down is simply part of aging. But what if this daily habit is quietly changing how your brain works? What if it is reducing blood flow to your brain, weakening the connections that support memory, and increasing your risk of cognitive decline? This is not something that happens overnight. It develops slowly, silently, and by the time most people notice memory problems, the process has already been building for years. I want to be very clear with you. Memory loss is not always just aging. In many cases, it is the result of daily patterns that gradually reduce brain function, especially after the age of 70. As a neurologist who has worked with older adults for more than 20 years, I have seen this pattern repeatedly. Patients come in concerned about forgetfulness, misplacing items, struggling to recall names, losing track of conversations. And very often when we look closely, there is a common factor, a lifestyle pattern that seems harmless, but is quietly affecting the brain. I remember one patient, a man in his early 70s. He told me he had started forgetting small things, where he placed his keys, whether he had taken his medication. He thought it was just age, but when we discussed his routine, he revealed that he spent most of his day sitting, very little movement, minimal activity. Over time, this lack of movement had reduced circulation to his brain. His mental sharpness had begun to decline, not suddenly but gradually. The important part is this kind of change is often preventable. In this video, I am going to explain exactly how this daily habit affects your brain, why it becomes more dangerous after 70, and what you can do to protect your memory starting today. Because what feels like rest may actually be one of the biggest hidden risks to your brain. And what I am about to explain next is the part most people completely miss. Most people believe that memory decline is inevitable after a certain age. They assume that as you get older, your brain naturally slows down and there is very little you can do about it. But that assumption is only partially true. Yes, the brain changes with age, but what matters more is how you use it and how well your body supports it. Let me explain what is actually happening inside your brain. Your brain depends on a constant supply of oxygen and nutrients delivered through blood flow. Think of your blood vessels like a network of roads delivering essential supplies to every part of your brain. When you move your body, your circulation improves, blood flows more efficiently, oxygen delivery increases, brain cells remain active and connected. But when you sit for long periods, that flow slows down. It is like traffic congestion in those roads. Deliveries become delayed. Some areas receive less supply. Over time, this reduced circulation begins to affect how brain cells communicate. Signals become weaker. Connections begin to fade. This is where memory problems start. Not because your brain suddenly stopped working, but because it is not being supported properly. And here is where it becomes serious. This reduced blood flow can also increase inflammation in the brain, which further damages cells responsible for memory and learning. So the issue is not just aging, it is the combination of aging and inactivity. And now that you understand this, let's look at the first major mistake that accelerates this process. The first major mistake is prolonged sitting without interruption. Many seniors sit for hours at a time on watching television, resting, or simply avoiding movement due to discomfort. It feels harmless, even necessary. But sitting for long, continuous periods sends a signal to your body to slow down circulation. Your muscles are not active, so they are not helping push blood back toward your heart and brain. Your circulation becomes sluggish. Your brain receives less oxygen. And over time, this affects memory. Think of your muscles as pumps that assist your circulation. When they are inactive, the system slows down. This is why even light movement can make a difference. The solution is simple but powerful. Break up long periods of sitting. Stand up every 30 to 45 minutes. Walk around your room, stretch your legs. Even a few minutes of movement can restart circulation. You do not need intense exercise. You need consistent movement. And this small change can protect your brain more than most people realize. But this is only one part of the problem, because there is another hidden factor that works alongside inactivity, and it often makes things worse. The second major factor is poor sleep quality. Many seniors believe that waking up multiple times at night is normal. They accept restless sleep as part of aging. But poor sleep has a direct impact on memory. During deep sleep, your brain performs a critical function. It clears waste products that build up during the day. Think of it like a cleaning system. If sleep is interrupted, this cleaning process is incomplete. Toxins remain in the brain. Over time, this buildup can affect memory and cognitive function. Now combine this with inactivity, reduced blood flow during the day, and incomplete brain cleaning at night. This creates a cycle, and that cycle accelerates memory decline. What should you do? Focus on improving sleep quality. Maintain a consistent sleep schedule. Avoid heavy meals before bed. Reduce screen exposure in the evening. And ensure your sleeping environment is calm and dark, because protecting your brain is not just about what you do during the day. It is also about what happens at night. And now, let's move to another factor that many people completely overlook. The third factor is mental inactivity. Just like your body, your brain needs stimulation. If you repeat the same routine every day with little mental challenge, your brain begins to adapt by doing less. It becomes efficient, but less active. This reduces the strength of neural connections. Over time, this can lead to slower thinking and memory issues. I often see this in patients who have retired and gradually reduced their mental engagement. They are not challenging their brain. They are not learning new things, and their brain activity begins to decline. The solution is not complicated. Engage your brain daily. Read something new. Solve simple puzzles. Have meaningful conversations. Learn a new skill, even if it is small, because your brain responds to use. The more you engage it, the stronger it remains. And now we come to a turning point in this discussion. Let me ask you something important. How many hours do you spend sitting each day? If it is more than 4 to 5 hours, I want you to type "sit" in the comments. And if you are already trying to stay active, type "active." This is not just for engagement. It is for awareness. Because many people underestimate how much they sit. Now here's something you need to understand. Even if you exercise once a day, long periods of sitting can still affect your brain. This is called the inactivity gap. You cannot fully cancel out hours of sitting with a short period of exercise. You need movement throughout the day. That is the key. And now let's look at what happens when this pattern continues over time. When inactivity, poor sleep, and low mental stimulation combine, the effects become more serious. This is where we begin to see noticeable cognitive decline. Memory lapses become more frequent. Focus becomes weaker. Decision-making slows down. And in some cases, this can progress toward conditions like mild cognitive impairment or even dementia. Now I want to be very clear. This does not happen suddenly. It develops gradually, which means you have time to act, but only if you recognize the early signs. Ignoring these patterns allows the problem to grow. Addressing them early gives you control. And now there is one more critical factor that most people do not connect to memory. The final overlooked factor is hydration. Many seniors do not drink enough water. They reduce intake to avoid frequent urination. But dehydration affects blood volume. And when blood volume decreases, circulation becomes less efficient. This means less oxygen reaches your brain. Even mild dehydration can affect concentration and memory. The solution is simple. Drink water consistently throughout the day. Do not wait until you feel thirsty, because by then your body is already behind. And now let's bring everything together into clear action steps. If you want to protect your memory after 70, focus on these actions. Break up sitting time every 30-45 minutes. Move regularly throughout the day. Improve your sleep quality. Engage your brain daily. Stay properly hydrated. Start small. Do not try to change everything at once. Pick one habit today, then build from there. Because consistency matters more than intensity. Your brain responds to daily patterns, and small changes can create powerful results over time. But before we finish, there is one final message I want you to remember. Memory decline is not always unavoidable. In many cases, it is influenced by daily habits. The way you move, the way you rest, the way you engage your mind. Your brain is not simply aging. It is responding to how you live. If you take one action today, let it be this. Stand up and move more. Even a few minutes can make a difference, because protecting your memory is not about doing something extreme. It is about doing the right things consistently. If this video helped you understand something important, share it with someone over 70 who needs to hear this. And if you want more clear, practical guidance to protect your health as you age, make sure to subscribe. Take care of your brain, because the earlier you protect it, the longer it will serve you.